Hi everyone, we're going to get started in a minute here at 2 p.m. So just a quick intro. In the GoToWebinar module on the side, there's a space where you can type in questions. Bob is sitting here with me today, and he's going to be asking me the questions. He'll either interrupt me or just wait until the end. And if we don't answer your question on this webinar, we'll make sure that somebody from our team reaches out to you with a response after the webinar. So it's 2 p.m. now, so let's go ahead and get started. So today we're going to be talking about virtual challenge events for nonprofits and how you can use them to raise money and engage supporters. And we've just come out with a lot of new features over the past couple of weeks. So I wanted to do a quick regroup presentation on how you can use these new features when you are setting up a virtual challenge. So today we're going to focus on a non-endurance challenge. It's going to be a reading challenge. And we have a lot of video content that's very detailed about how to set up different types of endurance challenges. And at the end of this session, I will link you to a hub where you can watch very detailed videos, read step-by-step guides. But I wanted to create a bit of content around how to do a challenge that's outside of a mileage challenge. Our platform is highly flexible and really lets you accommodate any sort of challenge, whether it's minutes of meditation, minutes of yoga, number of push-ups. So we're going to walk through and show you how to set that up. And then we're going to go through some quick hits, nonprofit virtual challenge edition. And these quick hits are going to focus on two areas where I think nonprofits can benefit a lot from spending some time on their setup. And that's going to be your donations and fundraising setup, and then your website design. And then at the end, we will do a quick Q&A. So I just wanted to share the numbers. I sent them out in the promotional email for this webinar, but they've updated over the last 2 days since we've sent that. So we're seeing more and more customers using virtual challenges. They're a really fun, unique way to engage your supporters right now.
And you should create a challenge so we get over 1,000.
Yeah, help us hit 1K. That's our goal.
Yeah.
All right. So why do nonprofits like virtual challenges? Obviously, the first reason is raise money now. Nonprofits are looking for ways they can raise funds. And virtual challenges are nice because you can typically charge a higher registration fee for a challenge versus a virtual race. Why is that? A challenge is typically a 1 to multi-month engagement. And so you can put a higher registration fee because the activity, the event, is lasting for a longer period of time. We're also seeing higher fundraising engagement with challenges because people are setting these goals that are a bit more ambitious than running a virtual 5K. And so they're getting more support for their fundraising pages. So if you are looking to really drive and focus fundraising, I think virtual challenges are a good option for right now. The second reason that nonprofits like virtual challenges is it gives you a really natural way to engage your supporters. Throughout the challenge, you're going to have various opportunities to communicate with your participants, and GiveSignup, RunSignup's challenge platform lets you automate that communication, so it's not this huge overhead and burden on your nonprofit. One of these ways is with our new milestones and notifications. So as your participants are hitting milestones throughout their challenge, you can set up and send them automated notifications. And in those notifications, you can include information that educates these participants about your mission. And just consider these supporters as people who have bought in and are interested to learn more about your nonprofit. And you have the opportunity to make them even bigger supporters throughout the challenge period. The third reason is you can continue to grow your contact list and your donor database. Challenges are really nice because people want to compete in them with family and friends. You want to see how you're doing against people that you know. Challenges also lend themselves well to things like teams. So you can set up different incentives through our platform, whether that's referral rewards or team size discounts, to encourage individuals who know about your nonprofit and want to participate in the challenge to get their friends and family to join in. So should my nonprofit do a virtual race or virtual challenge? So when you're thinking about doing a virtual challenge, the first thing I would think about is, do you have a creative idea? I think challenges present this wonderful opportunity for you to connect your cause with your challenge. So it doesn't necessarily make sense for every single nonprofit to do a 100-mile challenge, especially if your nonprofit isn't really focused on running, walking, doesn't have a ton of constituents who are very active. But you can get creative, as we'll see in the example that we're going to walk through today. So think about like how you can customize your challenge to relate to your nonprofit's cause. The second thing to consider is whether or not your nonprofit has bandwidth. To be honest, challenges do require more setup and management time than virtual races. It's very, very easy to set up a virtual 5K, a virtual 5K walk, a virtual cycle event. It's very low overhead. People submit their results one time. It's very easy to get it set up and kind of let it run. Whereas challenges, you are setting up this whole engagement over a period of time, and you're going to have more opportunities to engage and have that engagement be very customized and tied to your challenge. So there's obvious benefits to it, but it is going to require you to spend more time up front getting that all set up. The third thing is, do you have an annual event that you have to cancel? If the answer is yes, we recommend that you go virtual for that regular event. So if you have a 5K that you do every year, don't cancel it, go virtual, do a virtual race, let people submit their times for the 5K. And the reason you want to do that is because you want people to remember that you have this event, so that when you're able to host it again, knock on wood, in 2021 or 2022, people are going to remember it and they're going to come back to it. And the fourth thing is, can I do both? And yes, it's great to do both. We're happy to help you do both. And one of the cool things you can do on our platform is you can cross-promote and upsell your virtual race to replace your regular 5K event that you do and your virtual challenge with multi-race bundles. So you can offer like a $5 discount if you sign up for both events at the same time. And the platform handles that automatically. So the question about having bandwidth to do a challenge, nonprofits are crunched for time, and their staff, time is limited. But a really great option if you feel you don't have the bandwidth to do the whole setup, the swag, fulfillment, and shipping, results management, ask a timer or event management company that you typically work with if they can help. Or you can go to RunSignup.com and search for a timer or event management company if you don't currently work with one. We also have a blog where we recommend a few turnkey services. So event management companies and timers who will do a full suite of services for you to help you put on a virtual challenge. Will that cost money? Yes. Is it worth it? Yes, because you're going to be able to charge that higher fee for registration. You're going to raise more money doing a challenge, and the amount of stress that the timer is going to be able to take off of you, ordering shirts and making sure they get to the right people is going to be invaluable to you. And I say that as somebody who volunteered to do swag fulfillment and shipping for the local Rotary Scott Coffee 8K, so I know what I'm talking about. It's worth it to find somebody who's a professional at doing this.
And they do it more efficiently. So it just comes off as more professional, and it takes less time actually.
All right, so today we're going to walk through how you can create a virtual challenge. So for any virtual challenge, you can create from GiveSignup.org or RunSignup.com. Same login account for both sites. So if you have a RunSignup login, you can use that same account on GiveSignup. The only difference is that you're at a different URL, and your default URL for your challenge, if you go from RunSignup.com, is RunSignup.com. And if you go from givesignup.org, it will be givesignup.org. But you can change to either URL at the end. It's highly flexible, and we just want to make sure that you understand that you have both of these options and they are 100% integrated. The other way that you can get started is you can go to givesignup.org/challenge hub, and you can view the how-to guides, and you can click the Get Started Free button on here to get started free. We also have an option for you to talk to an expert, and you can talk to one of our GiveSignup team members about how a challenge could work best for your nonprofit. Just fill out a form and you'll coordinate with them to find a time to talk. So when you click Get Started Free or click Create a Race, you're going to go into the Race Wizard. And when you set up your events, you're going to select the event type to be virtual race/challenge. And now this is a completely new feature that just got released the other week. But what you can do now when you're setting up your events is you can check these boxes to allow participants to submit their results and indicate that this is going to be a virtual challenge. And instead of stating the dates when your event is going to happen, you're going to put in the dates when you want people to be able to submit their results. So this will be the period that the actual challenge is happening, and you'll be able to open registration ahead of this. So this is just making it very easy for you to make sure that your virtual challenge results are configured and set up for you so that you don't have to go through extra steps on the back end. But you do need to do extra steps on the back end to truly configure your virtual challenge setup. So going through,
it really cool.
Make it really cool. So the wizard makes it simpler. It reduces the confusion about how to set up a virtual challenge. But now we're going to dig into the details of how you can get set up with your virtual challenge. So to dig into the details, I'm going to be doing an example for the nonprofit that I worked for in Tanzania. And I like this example because it shows how you should be connecting your cause to your challenge. So IFT operates a secondary school in a small village in Tanzania, and a reading challenge connects to their cause because their mission is to provide a high quality education opportunities to a very underserved community. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to navigate to RaceDay Tools, Virtual Challenge Results, Configure Virtual Results from your Race dashboard. And you're going to see that your virtual challenge results are already enabled as the screenshot shows. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk through these different buttons here, the virtual result settings, activity types, goals, just so that you can know how to customize each of these things for a non-endurance challenge. So when you go into virtual results settings, times is going to be checked by default. So for a challenge where you are doing a custom activity that isn't about like the amount of time it took you to run a certain number of miles, you're going to uncheck times and you're going to check this box for distance, complete, or other tallies. You're going to select custom as the tally type, and then you're going to enter what the tally type is going to be. So for this reading challenge, my tally type is number of books, but this can be anything that you want it to be. So instead of number of books, this could be minutes of meditation. And what that means is people will be entering the number of minutes that they meditated instead of the number of books that they read. This could also be number of reps, and you could have different activity types set up for push-ups, pull-ups, burpees. So this is highly flexible, it's highly customizable, and we have nonprofits who are starting to do very creative things with this. So one example is a nonprofit that emailed me this morning, and they're going to be doing a step challenge. So this custom tally for them is going to be number of steps rather than number of books. So you can get very creative with how you want this to be set up.
It also, like a couple of other ideas from a nonprofit perspective, is it might be number of hours volunteered. So even though everybody's remote, so you can't like log your hours of volunteer work, and then you come up with these virtual rewards of badges and things like that for doing those hours. And then there's a growing number of kids challenges, and some of those are exercise oriented, but some of those are kind of like acts of kindness. So you challenge your kid to have 3 random acts of kindness per day and make the world a better place.
Or a number of times you interrupt your daughter during her presentation.
Oh, sorry.
And then you're just going to enter in when people can submit their activity results. So that's going to be when the challenge period is happening. The next thing that you can customize for your virtual challenge is going to be activity types. So you can add as many different activity types as you want. So for this virtual reading challenge, my activity types are the different types of books that you can read. So you can read a fiction or a nonfiction type of book. And when we do the demo portion of this, I'll show you how you can add an additional activity type to this setup. Next, you can set goals, and goals are flexible. So you can either have the same goal for all participants, or you can let participants define their own goals, and you can provide a suggested one for them. So for example, in this challenge, I'll have people read 25 books, or I can let people define their own reading challenge goal, and they can say how many books they want to read during the challenge. And I recommend showing the goal progress bar on the page because I think it looks very nice in the results view. So this is a new feature, and I think it's one of the key ways that nonprofits can really engage and make this challenge very custom and fun. And it's milestones and badges. So what you can do is you can select milestone type, and because we have this custom tally type for our virtual challenge, which is number of books, we're just going to select the milestone type as the fixed tally completed. And this is going to show after somebody logs their first book. So this is the milestone that they'll receive upon finishing their first book. And I have this milestone label that's going to show along with the badge. And I come down here to badge type and I select custom, and I can drag and drop a badge image that is my own image. We have some stock badge types here, but I highly recommend that nonprofits spend a bit of time creating their own badges that are unique and related to their challenge. So when you're creating custom badges, the best size is going to be 300 by 300 pixels. And there's a little note there on the upload that says that. And you are able to upload static images, or you can upload GIFs.
Or GIFs.
Or GIFs. There's a little bit of controversy about how one says that. So there's a couple different options for this custom badge design. I'm obviously a huge advocate of Canva, as you know if you've ever attended one of my webinars before. Our team also found this platform called Open Badge Designer, which is free, but I'm still a Canva advocate. So I'm going to go show you real quick how to create a badge in Canva and how I can upload that into my virtual challenge. So I have an account on Canva already. I think it's a great investment, but you're going to just click create a design, custom dimensions, and you're going to do the 300 by 300 pixels, and you can click create new design. And what I do is I'll come down here to elements and I'll search for a badge, and I'll find a badge that I like, and you can just extend it. One of my other favorite tricks for really customizing your website and your badges and milestones is making sure that the branding is the same as your nonprofit's branding. And what I like to do is I like to just take a little screenshot from the nonprofit's website so I can see their key colors that they're using a lot. And I will just hover over this and get the color code so that I can make sure that it matches the main website for the nonprofit. And then I'll copy that code into here and I will change it so that it's blue, like Orcasa's website. So that's tied together really nicely. And then because I have a book challenge, I'm going to search for book animation. And because the milestones support this animation, I can add really fun little graphics like this little bookworm here. And I'm ready. So what I'll do next is I'll click download, and I have to download this in the for GIF file. GIF file. This is only available on Canva with a subscription. You can use one of the static images of books too, it's fine. But I can click this, I can download this file. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over to my virtual challenge, configure virtual results. I'm gonna click into goals. And here's the milestone that we set up for the first book. And we're gonna add another milestone. So I'm gonna do fixed tally completed. And let's say this is when you read 3 books. And we'll do your bookworm. And here for badge type, I'm gonna select custom. And it will automatically ask me to come and upload my design. So here we go. And save that, and then we'll just go and check to make sure it's there. And yeah, we can see him hiding out in his book now. So you can add as many milestones as you want. This is a really, really fun way to add some creativity to your virtual challenge. The milestones can be set both at the overall challenge level as well as at the activity type. So you can also add different special badges for your different types of activities within a challenge. So I can have like a castle for the fiction, and I can have, you know, like a history book for the nonfiction milestone badge. So you can get pretty creative with that. So the other really cool thing that you can do with milestone notifications is there's a hyperlink that you can click, and it's going to let you add milestone notifications. And there's 2 parts to a milestone notification. One is the milestone unlocked page message, and the other is an email message. And the email is an automated email that gets sent when the milestone is hit. And you'll see here the corresponding milestone message that appears when a milestone is unlocked, and then the content of that email. And so to do this for each milestone, you're just going to click this small hyperlink on the screen, and it's going to take you to a page where you can enter your own message and your own email. I have this set up for my first milestone, so I'm going to show you it here. But here I have some basic content that educates the challenge participant about Orkeswa School, which is the name of the secondary school that the Indigenous Education Foundation of Tanzania runs. So it's just educating them, and it's something that they're going to read because it's associated with this badge that they just got for their challenge accomplishment. And then I'm also sending an email, and the email I chose to present slightly different content, and this is really just a great way to distribute your messaging, distribute your education. For this messaging, I would recommend that you don't try to make an ask for donations here. I would really keep it about education and about your mission, or you can make it something fun about the challenge. But think of this as just like your engagement for educating them, making them a deeper supporter of your organization. So the other thing to talk about is results. And results on our platform are tied to endurance events, but you are able to customize them for any type of challenge that you are doing. So this is when you go to your website and you look at the results tab on the website, you click on it, and you'll see that there's a bunch of fields here that you don't want showing for your challenge results. And I circled some of them that I don't want to show. I don't want to show bib number. I don't want to show clock time. I don't want to show pace. Those aren't relevant to a reading challenge. So what you're able to do on this page, and I think this is super important for you to do if you're doing a non-endurance challenge, you're going to click this small edit icon. And when you click this edit icon, there's going to be all these options for you to hide different fields in the results set that you don't want to show. So you check the ones that you want to hide. And the other cool thing is you can actually change what the fields say. So in this results, it defaults to place, but I changed it to top reader. So that instead of showing the place that you're in, you're going to show like the top reader order. And then once you're done making your changes, you can click save. And now your result set is really clean. It's focused on a reading challenge and not an endurance type of event. And you'll see here that instead of place, it now says top reader. So this is something, again, that you're going to be doing from the website when you're logged into your account. And you're going to be able to edit that result set to be custom to what your challenge is about. So before we go into a demo, I want to go through donations and fundraising. And this is going to be like a quick hits version. And it's going to be tips and tricks for nonprofits on how to customize their donation and fundraising setup to raise more money. So a lot of nonprofits, over 8,000 of them, use RunSignup because we have really flexible fundraising options that are integrated with your registration. So for this challenge, I've decided that all participants must become a fundraiser, but you can go through these settings and there's very detailed guides and past webinar recordings that walk you through all these different permutations of different setups. But what I recommend is that if you're doing a challenge and you want everyone to become a fundraiser, I would recommend checking this box and that's it. I wouldn't necessarily mess with any of the other settings, just keep it really simple. The other thing that I would recommend for virtual challenges, especially right now where money is tight for a lot of people, is I would set a suggested goal. And you can set that here under the default individual fundraising goal. And I've just been using a standard $100 as a recommendation. You can obviously customize that to be what you want. We have a lot of different options where you have required fundraising minimums, and we also released that feature where you can auto charge a card if a fundraiser minimum isn't met by a certain date. I have X's over them because I just don't think that's a great setting to use right now for these virtual challenges. I've seen a lot of nonprofits be very successful just using this default fundraising goal. And a lot of them, if they really want to incentivize people to raise more, they'll offer different incentives for fundraising levels, like raise $100 and you'll get a pair of Gooder sunglasses, raise $500 and you'll get this unique custom swag that you're only able to get for top fundraisers. This is a really basic functionality that we have on our platform that we've had, I think, for years and years, but I want to highlight it. A decade. I wanted to highlight it because I've seen a lot of pages that aren't using this, and I think it's really nice to offer donation levels. We recommend that you offer them like a wide variety from a very small amount to a higher amount, so people can still enter their own custom amounts. And this is yet another way for you to tie your setup to your cause. So you'll see here that my donation levels are tied to different things that you would provide for the school by donating that amount of money. The free Facebook fundraiser integration is great, and it's gotten progressively easier for nonprofits to set this up. You do have to be approved for Facebook payments to use this, but as long as your nonprofit page is approved on Facebook, you just copy and paste your URL or your page ID onto this page, click Save Facebook Fundraiser Settings, and it's automatically enabled. This has been a process that's really improved from a manual review to just automatically turning on. And what the integration lets you do is sign up, become a fundraiser on RunSignup, have your own custom fundraising page, and then when you complete your registration, after you've paid, you'll get a pop-up. It will ask you if you want to connect your fundraising page to Facebook, and the amounts raised on both platforms automatically stay in sync. And RunSignup offers very detailed reporting so that you'll be able to easily reconcile the amounts that were raised through RunSignup and through Facebook. I'll just mention one more thing about Facebook fundraising. I am seeing a lot of nonprofits use it. I think we've onboarded like close to 100 nonprofits to the Facebook fundraiser integration since COVID started. And we are seeing like over $100,000 a month raised on Facebook. So people are still fundraising, Facebook donations are still happening, and we're seeing like our more successful challenge events that are using it raise more money. So definitely recommend turning it on. So Milestones badges are also available for fundraising goals. So these are separate than your milestones that you achieve doing your activity. These are milestones you achieve by raising money. And Alyssa, one of our GiveSignup developers, just added this really fun confetti that will show for your fundraisers when they hit a certain milestone, along with a reward message. So it's just kind of fun gamification, and it's just a nice reward. You'll see here on the back end, you can set this up under fundraiser rewards. I've set up milestones that actually correspond to my donation levels, but you can make these whatever you want. And then you're also able to upload custom badges, so you don't just have to use the default stars that our system provides. You can upload badges that correspond to the milestone level that your fundraisers have achieved. Okay, we're going to do a demo so we can go through the process of how this event is going to work. So this is the website. We'll go through tips and tricks on how you can set up and customize a website after this demo. But I'm going to go ahead and register for the event. I'm logged into the platform, so I'm just going to choose my profile here. And this is my donation and fundraising step. So you'll see here that I'm required to become a fundraiser, and it's pulling in the information that we set up in the dashboard on the back end. So you see here that fundraiser goal is $100. And here is an individual fundraising message that the nonprofit sets on the back end. I'm able to customize this, so I can delete, I can add content, I can do whatever I want. I can choose an image to upload as my profile. I'm going to choose some books. And then I have the option to join or create a team fundraiser. You can also turn off team fundraising, but people typically like that as an option. And then here are my different donation options. If I make a donation as I'm signing up, that donation will count towards my fundraising goal for my fundraising page. And then this is the confirmation page. So this is a really simple low-key challenge. I'm not doing any swag for it, but you're able to have swag, you're able to sell additional store items and collect shipping address. But for this challenge, it's just a $10 fee, required fundraising, no swag. We have coupon codes. So I'm gonna complete my registration. And when I complete it, you'll see here that I'm able to connect my fundraising page to Facebook, which I'm not going to do because I've done too many demos of this.
We've done this in the past, and we've raised
a lot
of money.
But yeah, this is how you can connect. This is what the confirmation looks like. I can X out of this and I can go back to the website. So now I'm registered. If I go here, I'm going to be able to see my fundraising page that I just set up. And if I go up here, I can go to results and I can submit my virtual results here. A great way to let people know that it's time to log their results is through our free email marketing platform. You can actually use a replacement tag and send people a unique link to go and set up their results. Okay, oops, I didn't do that. So I found my record here, and I have an option here to log my activities. And this is my page where I can log my activities for my reading challenge. And so you'll see here, I can choose whether I read a fiction book or a nonfiction book, and I can enter the date that I completed the book, and I can enter one or multiple books that I finished at the time. So I'm going to put in fiction, and I just read this book called Temporary. by, what was her last name?
Oh, I can't remember.
I think it's this.
Bad memory, but it's a great book as an aside.
Yeah, I have great taste in reading, so you get some good book recommendations from this challenge. So these comments are optional, but for a reading challenge, you can encourage your participants to, enter the titles of the books that they've read. That also gives you a lot of content for, posting different book recommendations on Facebook during this. So here we see that my activity has been saved and I unlocked my first book. I get this really fun milestone with pages turning. So when I click on this, it goes to my congratulations page and I can see this message that we had set up in the dashboard that corresponds to this milestone that I achieved. And the nice thing is there's social share options, so you can encourage people just on this page to share their achievements with their friends on social media. So let's go back to the results page. So this is my individual results page. And here you'll see that overall progress that I've made towards my goal of 25 books. And you'll see here, I'm going to be starting to collect my milestones over here. This link is to a trophy case, and the trophy case will show the different milestones that you've unlocked as well as the upcoming ones. So you can see we just added that second milestone, and I have to read 3 books to achieve that. But this is a fun way to kind of keep track of your results and achievements. And, with challenges that offer a ton of different milestones and badges, this page can look very, very cool. So we'll come back to here, and up here we see the total number of books that I've read. And then in the activity setup, we wanted to show a tally type for the different sub activities that we have. So it's going to keep track of how many fiction versus how many nonfiction books I've read. And here is this timeline feature. So this timeline will continue to grow as I log additional books that I've been reading. So this is the results page, my individual results page view. And I can look up other people who are in the challenge and I can look at their results as well. One other thing to point out is there's this link to donate to Allison Bickle, and this will link to my fundraising page. And this shows the start of where we're heading, where there's a very tight integration between your milestone achievements for the challenge and your individual fundraising progress. So let's go back to the results page. And now we have a little bit of data in here. So we're able to see the number of books that I've read, and then we're also showing the breakdown between fiction and nonfiction, as well as progress here. So that is a quick demo of what the registration, donation process, the fundraising process is going to look like, and then how your participants are going to be able to log their activity during the challenge period. Any questions or keep going?
Nope, we're good to go.
All right. So next, I'm just going to go through some quick hits for how to design a website and highlight some features that I think nonprofits will really like. So first, this is pretty basic, but we do have the option to add custom content, so you can make a very robust website. I think it's worthwhile to add custom content to your challenge website because your participants are going to be on your website every day logging their activity, looking at your results page and seeing how they rank in comparison to everyone else. And your menu items, your content is going to be visible when they're on your page, as well as your call to action to donate, which is great. But give them some custom content so that they can learn more about your nonprofit, or you can even link to your own external website if you have stuff that you want people to go and visit. But we've made it really easy for you to add custom content to the website. And you'll see here, this is what it looks like. You can feature images and content. It's easy to add images and graphics to your pages. You can feature, your social media feeds on the side of the page if you want. The second option is with custom content display. So we created those 3 different custom sections, and now you can choose how they display. So I'm choosing to display about or Keswa as a new menu item. And then I'm showing these as sub-menu items. So this gives you a lot of flexibility about the display of your content on your website. And then finally, your menu order. There's some default tabs. You may want to hide them. So to get rid of these default tabs like race info or event info, just click hide, and then they will not show on that menu. You can use this left-hand drag and drop tool to rearrange the order of your different menu tabs if you want to bring something forward or back. The one recommendation I have is make sure that your results menu item is on that top line so that it's not hidden or anything. Make it very clear and obvious where that is. I recommend that all nonprofits use a cover page because you can feature different data-driven elements, different video content really cleanly on your website. It's easy to build a cover page. You don't need to be a developer. You just need to be able to point, click, drag, and drop different images, add different like written content that you want to show. It's very easy to build a nice looking professional website in minutes. So some of the data-driven elements that we really like for cover pages for nonprofits. The first is donation goal, and this is a new feature that we recently added. It was highly requested by a lot of nonprofits, but the ability to feature your donation goal progress right on the main website. So this is automated. It's going to pull in from the donation goal that you set up in your dashboard, and you're also going to be able to customize a call to action that goes to your donation page. The other one that's really nice that a lot of nonprofits are doing is an overall challenge goal. So in addition to individuals having their own goals that they want to achieve, you can set a whole challenge-wide goal, and you can pick the number of events that feed into that goal. So for this, I have 307 books as my total challenge goal. And so as people start reading, those will all start accumulating on the website. And the third element is top fundraisers. So you can show your top fundraiser leaderboard, and that's nice for highlighting your key supporters who are raising the most money. You have two options when it comes to URLs. So the first is you can bring your own domain or add a subdomain for free. We offer that completely free. You just need to add that and go through the process that's clearly laid out on that page when you navigate to domains in your race dashboard. The other option that you have if you don't want to go through the domain step is just create a short URL. By default, your URL has like your state name and race in the URL. You can shorten this. So here you'll see that my URL is just givesignup.org/read4akeswa. And I like that URL because it's really clean. I can share it easily on social media or via email, and it's not something super long. So I highly recommend set up a short URL. Your long URL is still going to work, so people can find you either way, but it's just nice and clean for sharing. The email capture is a nice way to grow your contact list. You can add an email capture that will pop up on your website, and you can customize what it's for. So it could be learn more about our organization, or it could be sign up for our newsletter. And you can customize how you want that to show, if you want it to slide in, if you want it to be a center pop-up. So very flexible and a great way to grow your contact email list. So show you this website. So I started setting up a cover page. You'll see here I just have a basic banner image with calls to action. Here I have a little bit of content about the challenge and how it's going to work. And here I featured a video. So it's really nice for featuring video content if your nonprofit has any. And then here is our cover page goal. So you'll see now that the number of books completed is now 1 because I read a book. And there's this little progress bar at the bottom, and it will show the total number of books. And that progress bar will continue to move as people read more books in the challenge. But what we're going to do is we're just going to add those additional cover page elements so you can kind of get a sense of how a cover page is created. So the one that I want to add is a donation goal. So I have all these different options for content I can add. So click on data, and we're going to name this as donation goal. This isn't going to show on the website. It's just for organization on the back end, so you know what each section is. And for data type, I'm going to click donation goal thermometer, and you'll see here that's showing. And let's change this to a red background. And let's add a button that goes to my donate page, and we'll add that as donate now. And we'll add help us reach our goal and save that. And now if we refresh the page, we now have a donation goal that's showing. Oops, I picked the same color for the button and the background. You know, it helps you to a certain extent, but it doesn't make it perfect. Okay, so just need to tweak the background color. There we go. Now that pops. So if I want to feature my donation goal above this challenge goal, I can just drag and drop it. And when I go back to my website and refresh, now the order has been changed. One of the other things that's nice to add is a top fundraisers feature. So we can click top fundraisers, and we can have this be, you know, support one of our, actually we'll change this to scholars or readers. So you can customize this. It's obviously fun. You can get very creative with how it is. We'll change that to a gray background, and this content is going to be top fundraisers, and I can save that. And again, I can drag and drop that to feature it in a different place. But here we see, you know, help us reach our goal, support our readers, and you'll see I'm one of the top individuals here. The other thing that you can do is you can feature your event tiles. So you can make it easy for people to sign up for your event and feature that directly on your website. And you can have sign up today and change this to red and save that, and then drag that over here. And now we have our website where we can sign up here, and we have added a bunch of content. And the nice thing about this content and why these websites are really powerful is it's automatically updating. And yeah, you can like take a screenshot of how many books have been read and add it to your own website, but you're gonna have to do that all the time. It doesn't really make any sense. Whereas here, this website is tied to the data for your challenge, so it's automatically going to update. It's automatically going to show the most recent information. So it just shows the power of having a website. And when you have a challenge, you want to make sure that you spend some time customizing it, making sure it looks nice, making sure you have a lot of your content there, because people will be going to it every day. You're going to get a lot of, you know, visitors to your site. And so you just want to make sure your content is kind of front and center. Okay, so I focused on 3 different parts of virtual challenges today: how to set up, how to turn on donations and fundraising, and what the best features are there, and then some of the key website features. But as you know, there's a lot more to the platform than just that. And so I wanted to just share a couple of current and upcoming education opportunities and resources that we have for you. So the first is givesignup.org/challenge hub. I'm going to go out of full screen. So this is a challenge hub for fundraising challenges, and you can learn more about how to get started, how to set up. You can request a call with one of our experts, and you can also find really detailed video setup guides and step-by-step you know, directions for how to set up your challenge. The second feature, or the second upcoming opportunity, is our fall cram session. This is a free mini symposium, and we offer a variety of different sessions. A lot of them will be focused on virtual and challenge. I'm going to be doing a presentation during the fall cram session that is nonprofit virtual challenge case studies. So I'm going to probably pick about 10 or 12 different challenges that are live on our platform that have had some success. And I'm kind of going to go through, what's worked for them and how they set up their challenge. So it's kind of a different version of, learning about virtual challenges.
And I believe that's on August 25th?
Yes.
Tuesday, August 25th?
Tuesday, August 25th. Registration is $0, so sign up here. It's just runsignup.com/fall cram session. And then the third point is activity for good. This is a test challenge event that Brian Jenkins is doing, and he's creating a lot of educational content around it. And their most recent webinar that they did is a Marketing 101. There's a lot of great resources here for promoting and marketing your virtual challenge. So if you click here, there's actually a Marketing 101 checklist. So you can download this PDF. And I had already downloaded it. And this will walk you through, the steps of how to promote your challenge and kind of show you the different areas of tools that we have within our own platform and tools that we recommend that you use outside of our platform to promote your challenge. So that's it.
Cool. So I think it'd be useful to discuss website URLs for a minute or two. There was one question about whether this is like a separate website or if these are things that can go on their website.
Yeah, so this is its own website. So you're going to be creating something that is an independent website that you can link to from your own website, but you cannot host the information on your website. And that is because this website is connected to all the data from your challenge that's inside of RunSignup. So all of your data about donations and fundraising and the challenge activities that have been completed, so that your website can show these different things like your donation progress, your top fundraisers, your challenge progress.
Right, exactly. So your website and your data are all integrated together. We have in the past supported this concept of what's called widgets. So you can display results or things like that and put a widget onto your website. That doesn't work so well anymore because all the browsers are starting to shut that down for security and clickjacking types of reasons. So, so that's not a good recommendation for you. So
what we recommend if you want to maintain your nonprofit branding throughout your entire website is just go in and add your own domain. So if you already have your own domain, your nonprofit domain that you own, you can just add challenge.yournonprofit.org and you can validate that. It's free because you already own your domain. And then instead of seeing any GiveSignup or RunSignup on your website, it's all clean.
Exactly. So it's nice and clean. And the way that we have all the coloring set up is you can make this website look really professional, make it look really part of, the way that your organization likes to project itself. Same with the emails that go out and everything. So we pay a lot of attention to trying to allow you to protect your brand on this. So your Akiswa, what's your, do you have any background on that one, Allison? Do you want to explain why you chose that one for your demo?
Is Lisa on this?
I don't know.
Oh, did somebody ask about it?
No, I'm asking about it because I like the story.
Oh. Well, after college, before I went to graduate school, I volunteered at this nonprofit that I found in Tanzania. It ended up being this great organization, and I lived in Monduli, which is about an hour outside of Arusha, which is a small city in Tanzania. And I worked at a secondary school that, you know, catered towards these students that didn't have any options for going beyond primary school in, you know, walking distance from their homes. And it was great. It was a really great model of international development. That's what I studied after. And I worked in international development for quite a while. And I still love this school because their focus on being extremely community-based and providing these great opportunities for individuals is just a really nice way to do development work.
Yeah. And we held like the first ever secondary school cross-country race in Tanzania.
Yeah. When I got there, I started a cross-country team, and we held a cross-country meet with schools from the area. The students all came out. We ran a 6K course.
And the start had to be delayed because cattle was coming through on the course.
Yeah, Bob visited for that week, so
Yeah.
that was fun for them.
Yeah, a great school, great school. There are so many great nonprofit out there, and we're just like really lucky to be creating technology that hopefully helps these nonprofits, you know, thrive and grow and deliver on their mission. So that's what we're all about.
Yeah, and this virtual challenge platform, it is a way to get through this really tough time right now. And I think virtual challenges specifically for nonprofits is also going to continue after this. You know, it's a great way to just, you know, have a longer engagement with people, have more education content, you know, higher touch point with your supporters. So I see this platform continuing to be used a lot even after COVID.
Absolutely. And I think it's something that really works in well with everybody's fundraising campaign strategies. It's a really useful tool.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up. I will post a blog and email out the slides and the recording from today. Maybe I will do it today, maybe I will do it tomorrow. I don't know yet. But thank you for attending today's session. We're really excited to help you guys get your virtual challenges set up and running. Thanks.
Thank you.